Switzerland has a reputation that almost feels exaggerated until you experience it yourself. Efficient trains, spotless towns, dramatic mountain scenery, and a culture that values both tradition and everyday quality of life all come together in a way that's hard to explain from photos alone. Over the next 10 days, this itinerary moves from historic streets to quiet rural landscapes, from relaxed lakeside moments to high-altitude viewpoints. Along the way, you'll see why so many travelers leave Switzerland already thinking about when they can return. Let's get going! Our tour begins in Basel, Switzerland's cultural capital. We'll kick off in Marktplatz, which is the city's vibrant heart. Here you'll see the 500-year-old Rathaus, or town hall, easily recognizable by its vivid red facade. Step inside and be enthralled by the ornate frescoes and carved balconies. Then stroll through the Altstadt toward Basel Minster. This 12th-century cathedral with red twin towers and colorful roof tiles rises majestically above the city. Behind it, the elevated Pfalz platform offers sweeping views of the Rhine and distant Alps. From there, descend to the waterfront and board one of Basel's engineless wooden cable ferries, which drift silently across the current to the opposite side of the river. Make your way back via the middle bridge, built in 1226, now displaying some 20th-century artwork. Look for the Kepelioch Chapel and learn about its dark past. After lunch, be sure to find the whimsical Tingley Fountain, with its metal sculptures that spin and spray water. The fairy tale Spallantor Gate is also worth a visit. As you become acquainted with this charming city, feel free to drink from the city's many delightful fountains. Basel has more than 40 museums, so on day 2 choose one or two that interest you. Options include the Kunstmuseum, Switzerland's oldest public art museum, dating to 1661. View works by Monet, Van Gogh, and Rembrandt in its collection that spans more than 6 centuries. Other options include the Basel Historical Museum, the Tingley Museum, or even a clothes hanger museum. For something unique, search for the Pants Pocket Museum, with its exceptionally pint-sized display. Afterwards, meander through the St. Alban district, Basel's most picturesque neighborhood. You'll see grand homes, narrow canals flowing beside stone bridges, and buildings hidden behind ivy-covered walls. The wonderfully intact 14th-century St. Albans Gate served as the grand entrance to the old fortified district. Time permitting, take the short tram ride to Augusta Raurica, the oldest known Roman colony on the Rhine. View the many artifacts and walk through a reconstructed house to see painted rooms and period furniture based on archaeological discoveries from the site. The ancient theater is still used for open-air concerts and events. Today's last stop will be beneath the enormous domed ceiling of Markthalle Basel, sampling local specialties. In the morning on day 3, travel about 90 minutes to Bern, a UNESCO site and among the world's finest medieval cities. Begin your visit at the Bern Cathedral, the tallest church in Switzerland. Climb the tower for sweeping views across red rooftops, the turquoise Aare River, and distant snow-covered peaks. Next, check out Kramgasse Street. Be sure to arrive at the Zittglocke, Bern's famous 800-year-old clock tower, a few minutes before the hour. You'll be treated to the mechanical figures performing their centuries-old routine of bells, rotating characters, and marching bears. After the show, wander the nearby streets that are lined with sandstone arcades, creating one of Europe's longest covered promenades. Lots of shops are underground. Keep an eye out for some of Bern's decorated Renaissance fountains, many topped with colorful statues dating back to the 1500s. In the afternoon, trace the riverside paths to the Bear Park, home to Bern's symbol for more than 500 years. Then, take the short funicular ride to Gurten Hill. This car-free recreation area has an observation tower and multiple well-marked hiking trails that cater to all skill levels. On day 4, we trade city life for the rolling countryside of the Emmenthal region. Start with the scenic ride to Langnau and Trubschachen. Here, green hills rise behind wooden farmhouses decorated with flower boxes and carved balconies. This region produces Emmenthal cheese, which is recognizable worldwide for its large holes and nutty flavor. Visit the Emmenthaler Schaukäserei, a working demonstration dairy. Watch cheesemakers create giant wheels of Emmenthaler using old-world methods. Tastings include different aging styles paired with local breads and cured meats. Continue deeper into the countryside toward tiny hamlets connected by narrow roads, covered bridges, and footpaths crossing open meadows. There's uninterrupted rural scenery in every direction. On the return journey, stop in Burgdorf, an enchanting hilltop town crowned by a medieval castle overlooking the Emma River. The arcaded streets, colorful facades, and inviting cafes make it an ideal late-afternoon break before heading back to Bern. On day 5, go to Fribourg, a bilingual city perched over the serene river, about 30 minutes away. Here, buildings are uniquely built from molasse, a greenish-gray local sandstone, creating a distinctive urban landscape. Begin in the lower town, where cobbled streets lead past ancient bridges and riverside walkways beneath immense 15th-century walls. Many buildings date back centuries, with wooden shutters, painted signs, and vaulted passageways still intact. Following this, take the 19th-century Fribourg funicular, Europe's only water-powered railway, to the city's upper district. Then, proceed to the St. Nicholas Cathedral, known for its elaborate Gothic facade and stunning Art Nouveau stained glass. Climb the bell tower for a panoramic vista across rooftops, church spires, and the winding Serene below. In the afternoon, spend time in the artisan quarter around Place du Petit Saint-Jean, filled with centuries-old storefronts now housing independent bakeries, boutiques, and cafes. Fribourg is particularly known for fondue moitié-moitié, a regional specialty blending Gruyère and Vacherin cheeses. We journey to the Bernese Oberland on day 6. Delight in the opportunity to see Europe's most beautiful bay, historic landmarks, terraced vineyards, and extraordinary mountain outlooks all in one day. The first stop is Spiez Castle, set above the harbor with its tower, courtyard, and centuries-old chapel all overlooking the water. From the castle grounds, make your way to the marina to watch the boats travel to villages along the shoreline. Board a lake vessel and set out for Oberhofen, and look for a turreted castle rising from the shoreline. Step inside its furnished rooms and waterside garden for a glimpse into 11th-century aristocratic life. Carry on by boat or bus to Thun, entering its old town through covered arcades and passing the Aar River's pedestrian bridges. If you have the energy for another castle, the Thun Castle or the storybook Shadow Castle are worthy options. Return to Spiez via vineyard terraces by the lake. The designated walking paths cut through rows of vines with an uninterrupted sightline across the water. Have dinner in one of the many restaurants that serve a selection of the region's well-known wines. The magical and majestic Lauterbrunnen awaits on day 7. Start in the valley floor beneath sheer cliffs, where Staubach Falls drops nearly 1,000 feet in a single uninterrupted ribbon beside traditional wooden houses. Continue deeper into the gorge approaching the glacier-fed Trümmelbach Falls, located entirely within the rock face. Explore them via illuminated tunnels, galleries, and lookouts. A tunnel lift transports you to the upper chutes, and then stairways bring you close to the raw, thundering spray. Next, board the cable railway in the direction of Mürren, a car-free settlement perched on a high ledge over the valley. As you gain elevation, the Eiger, Mönch, and Jungfrau emerge, their snow-covered summits towering over ridgelines, ice fields, and deep-cut alpine valleys. In Mürren, follow the well-marked pedestrian lanes lined with chalets and welcoming cafes found just beyond the cliff edge. The Almendhübel funicular provides access to meadows and gentle walking circuits with continuous mountain visibility. Return through the valley in late afternoon, observing the waterfalls that reappear from different angles as the terrain opens and changes. In the evening, just enjoy the dazzling scenery. Day 8 includes a dramatic train ride through the Visp Valley to reach Zermatt, arguably Switzerland's most cinematic mountain town. Be ready for a thrilling 3,000-foot change in elevation as the train winds its way up. You'll pass through deep gorges, cross over rushing glacial rivers via soaring viaducts, and navigate lush meadows shaded by massive vertical rock walls. In Zermatt, electric taxis, horse-drawn carts, and footpaths replace all road traffic. From the center, board the Gornergrat Railway and ascend through forested slopes and rocky ridges toward high-altitude viewpoints. Each station reveals progressively wider perspectives across ice fields, jagged summits, and the full pyramid shape of the Matterhorn. Descend back into Zermatt and explore streets near the church square. Look for restaurants, alpine bakeries, and timber facades clustered beneath cliff walls. End the day with a memory of the Matterhorn seen from one of the many viewing areas just outside the village. It's day 9, and we depart Mother Nature's Swiss masterpiece for Lucerne, an exquisite city framed by water, Middle Ages architecture, and steep mountain silhouettes reflected across the pristine surface of Lake Lucerne. The first destination is the Kapellbrücke, a 14th-century wooden-covered bridge and the undisputed icon of the city. Admire the interior panels that display painted scenes depicting national history. The adjacent water tower, Switzerland's most photographed monument, served as both a defensive watchtower and a grim, completely dark dungeon. Keep going to the Altstadt, where painted facades line cobbled streets and open squares. Vine-marked Square features a fountain and well-maintained guild buildings, while nearby lanes lead you to small courtyards filled with cafes, watchmakers, and traditional shops. Find your way to the Lion Monument, carved directly into the cliff face. This deeply moving sculpture mourns Swiss guards who were massacred during the French Revolution. Do you see the pig? In the afternoon, catch the world's steepest cogwheel train to Mount Pilatus. The top of the world views are unbelievable. At the summit, the short circular dragon trail winds through dramatic, mystical rock galleries. You'll learn all about the mountain's centuries-old dragon myths. It's your final evening in Switzerland, so find a restaurant that gives you the best sunset picture of the Alps. On the last day, we're actually going outside Switzerland to a place you likely wouldn't visit otherwise. Liechtenstein is a very tiny alpine country between Switzerland and Austria. Consider it a contrasting stop at the end of an epic trip. With only a small population of about 41,000 people, the country has 5 castles and 3 museums, and plenty of street art to make you smile. The Vaduz Castle is the official residence of the princely family and is closed to the public, except for strolling through the prince's vineyard. Or drop by the Prince of Liechtenstein winery for a premium tasting. In the main city of Vaduz, roam the compact pedestrian center. The National Museum and Kunstmuseum Vaduz display regional history and contemporary art within clean-lined exhibition spaces. Have your last experience of the breathtaking alpine environment by following the clearly indicated hiking routes into the nearby hills, often starting from central transit hubs. These are well-maintained non-technical trails with easy access. Then, head back to Switzerland for your connecting flight home. Thanks for coming on this journey. After 10 days, you've confirmed that the Swiss landscapes are filled with unparalleled beauty. This itinerary feels less like a checklist and more like a sequence of shifting environments stitched together by travel. You've crossed from urban streets to open heights, from calm waterlines to steep approaches. It's a route defined by variety, where every stop adds a new layer to the experience. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with others who prefer in-depth and realistic itineraries and manageable pacing. See you in another Travel Top 10 video where we'll spend 10 days in a different region of Europe.